the topic this week is we're going to do 5 picks of streaming platform original shows. So we can't go with, it's not just a show that's on a streaming network. It has to be like a Netflix original, a Prime original, a Max original, an Apple Plus original. So that, no Breaking Bad, no Better Call Sauls.
I have questions.
No Walking Dead, no
Walking
Office.
Dead, no The Office.
What
no
about
Lost.
HBO?
So it has to be a Max original.
Oh, Jesus.
So no Sopranos. It has to be a Max original because HBO is not a streaming platform.
I got to pay for it.
Oh crap. Now I don't know what was a Max original and what wasn't.
I'm deleting a lot of stuff over
because
here.
Because then that opens it up. The Sopranos aren't a Max original. Obviously it came out before HBO Max was a thing. The show's I think Barry's on HBO. A lot of the shows are on HBO. So I didn't pick any Max shows, I don't think.
Well, that's going to change.
Scrambling. All right. Well,
all right.
Because if you can pick Max shows, then there's no reason you can't go on, you can't pick Breaking Bad.
Well, it's like AMC, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't that AMC. That wasn't a paid. I feel like HBO and Showtime and those ones are
it's not
kind of like having a subscription. Kind of like paying to have a channel.
Because it wasn't cable, right?
Right.
It's not, yeah.
Well, that's up to you guys.
Talk to me. Talk to me, Josh. I'll start typing stuff back into my phone right now.
We can open it up.
Can I get a rolling?
So the tough thing is I guess
basically if you had to pay to watch it, if you couldn't just turn on your regular cable, I guess you're paying for cable too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not just
changes everything.
Okay, so we'll allow it. So anything on HBO Max.
Okay.
I was going to be really stringy with you guys, but we'll open it up.
Just HBO Max.
Yep. Anything on it or Showtime.
Oh, changes everything. Yep. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll just, because let's see, this is my week to go first. So it'll go me, Blake, Justin, hell? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Blake's doing some research over there.
I got myself. It's you, me, Justin.
So I'll go ahead and avoid the whole Max thing to begin with. And I'll take 101. I know this is a show a lot of people love. I love it. And I'm going to take Stranger Things.
Great pick.
So that's not necessarily my favorite show, but I was trying to think in terms of what would be available and when. So that I had that on there, and now I'm already going to have to go to. I was going to take that number 1 also.
Yeah,
just based on that.
Yep.
So I think if they stick the landing with the final season, it has a chance to be in the GOAT discussion.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah, yes. For sure.
It was season 1 and 2 and 3 were already top tier, but season 4,
the Vecna season was
that's top tier.
Nuts.
Yes. And so I think if so many shows, there's some shows that I love that I didn't put on here because they didn't stick the landing.
I have one of those.
And
that was almost going to be my 101. That was close.
There you go.
So, and they didn't stick, so they're in my honorable mentions if I have to go to them, but they're not in my picks. Mm-hmm. So with my first pick, I think I'm going to go, I'm trying to think of what you guys will pick. What will get back to me? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with Severance.
Okay. That was on my list.
Yep.
Blake just recently got me onto that on Apple Plus.
If you haven't watched Severance,
I watched it and I'm just itching for that second season now.
I'm glad it took me forever to watch it because now it's been out forever.
Yeah.
The second season's they're filming it or they just wrapped and it's still got some time before it comes out. And so I'm glad my wait's only going to be a year and not
me too.
4 years.
So Justin's up with 2 in a row.
Oh, 2 in a row? Mm.
Yeah. Snake Draft, baby.
Well, all right. Give me one of those shows that have terribly not sticking of the landing at the end, and that's Game of Thrones.
Yep. That was going to be mine, but...
Just epic show.
So if you guys want a hot take?
You don't think Game of Thrones is that good?
I think it's legitimately one of the worst television shows I ever watched.
Have you watched it?
He watched the first episode.
I forced myself to watch season 1.
Oh, you didn't watch anything past that?
I watched season 1.
Okay.
And then I was like, this show fucking sucks.
I just don't understand it.
It is so good.
And then I watched the first episode of season 2 and I was like, that fucking sucked even more. And I never watched another episode.
Are you sure it was the same show?
And I don't think I ever will. And I love fantasy, Lord of the Rings, it sucks.
It is right up your alley, bro.
It's so bad. I can't think.
That's why you didn't have to worry about him taking it.
Oh, that's right. It's okay.
I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think. I'm watch season 1 and I'm trying to think of like, well, this was cool. I can't think of one thing I liked about season 1.
Oh, I can think of like
what was cool in season
I don't want to
1?
like spoiler it, but like,
bro, season 1's been out for how? I mean,
The opening, even where the White Walkers in the
crazy.
fort, like it just opened the show to like, ooh,
Ned
what are we
Stark.
getting into here? Yeah,
like
it's so
the Gold King. Like, I feel like there's so many like just epic moments where I was like, holy shit, that was crazy.
I will say that there's a lot. Season 1, there's a lot of references to different different kingdoms and people
places,
and houses and families and things that it's like, okay, that's a little confusing. But as like by the end of season 2, it like everything makes sense and you're rolling, baby. Yeah. It's so much fun.
I watched season 1 with Kiva, and even she was just like, this show's stupid.
Well, you guys are perfect for each other.
I know.
See?
My wife doesn't get it, but I could sit down and watch like
it was so
all
bad.
of it fast.
It was.
And I don't do that.
I was like, I'll never. This is so bad.
Comments.
Most overrated show.
All right, so yeah, comments. You guys love Game of Thrones, or is Blake right? Which he's not, but
we know the last season sucks. You ain't got to bring it up. We get it. We watched it, but we had to. Okay, so I'll take my second pick real quick.
Yeah, who you got?
Give me The Sopranos. I don't know if you guys say anything bad about the show. Have you guys watched this show?
I've legit not watched it.
This is
So I watched the very first episode a long time ago to start it.
Yeah.
And I just haven't got to go back and watch it. Now I've seen clips and stuff, and I liked the first episode, and it's head and shoulders above Game of Thrones. So that's an okay pick.
Okay.
Just in one episode, I could tell it was better.
It is like especially like storyline and stuff like that. Man, it is crazy. It's very, very good. Very up there. I would have lost 2 of my first picks. We didn't talk him into that.
So it's my pick now.
Yes, sir.
So I have 3 of my 5 picks. I'm gonna have to go into my honorable mentions twice here. I believe.
Okay.
No, at least once. 2 of them. So I'm gonna go with my second pick. I'm trying to think again what you guys won't take. I'm gonna go with Daredevil.
Yeah, it's on my list, bro. And
it was on my list.
It was definitely coming up.
Daredevil is, I mean, it's arguably one of the best shows of all time, in my opinion.
It's very fair.
The acting, the story, the grittiness. Season 3 is so good with Bullseye. It just, it's one of the few shows I've watched all the way through. Like, I watched Breaking Bad more than once. I've watched The Office more than once. But other than that, I haven't watched a ton of shows more than once, and I've watched Daredevil multiple times.
The crazy thing is, like, I remember starting that and going like, let's see what this is about. And immediately was like, whoa, this is brutal. This is way better than I thought it was going to be. The acting's really good. Everybody in it is really good.
It's so good.
Super. I wouldn't even call it like an underrated show. I feel like if you know about it, then
it's goated.
Bro, it's up there.
All right, so I guess that puts me on for 2 in a row, and this is perfect. I get like 3 of my top 4 because you took Game of Thrones. So I'm going to follow up Stranger Things with The Boys.
Okay,
that's on my list. That was on my honorable mentions. Because I haven't watched the new season yet.
I am all caught up on the new season, waiting for the next episode to drop tomorrow, I think, and.
So
good.
I want to get your. So you're caught up on the new season.
Yeah.
So I want to get. So it's getting review bombed.
Really?
It's getting review bombed because people are just now realizing like who they're making fun of. Okay, and like what the show is about. And some of the people they are making fun of, essentially, they're making fun of right-wing people. And I'm not like a far-right person, but I would consider myself more middle. But if I had to lean away, I'm probably going to lean to the right somewhat. And I don't get offended by that stuff in media. And I also know you also lean to the right. So I'm curious, but you love it.
Oh, I love the show.
So
absolutely.
Josh is these people that can, separate the real world from his TV shows.
Yeah,
but
it's good.
Well, and also because the show is about like the superheroes, everything they do is essentially fake and staged, and it's all pulling one over the public and the corrupt government and everything. And I'm just like, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really care who you're making fun of. The government sucks. So yeah.
So my biggest issue with why I haven't got to watch the new season of The Boys is the only time I ever really get to watch a TV show is when I go to the Y and I ride a bike. And I just can't bring myself to watch The Boys when like somebody's grandma's like on the treadmill next to me or something. She just looks over and there's like a giant peen on my screen.
There are definitely a lot more peens in this season too.
And it's one of those shows. So I obviously like, I enjoy like some messed up television, but it's so messed up that I almost have to like get geared up for it. I'm like, okay, I gotta get in the right mind
you can't
frame.
just like randomly watch The Boys. Like you have to get into it and stick in it until the end, because
like I think about how much peen I'm going to see,
or like the way they kill people is
like
just
weird stuff I'm going to see, and I have to like really. I'm like, okay, I got to get in the right mindset before I just sit down and watch The Boys. But I'm excited to watch the newest season because I love that show.
It's awesome. All right, and so for my third pick, I am taking Mandalorian.
Dang it. Okay. Yep.
So I think Mandalorian is very good. Oh, holy shit. I'm glad you said that because I had another show on my...
I'm glad I could be an inspiration to you.
I had another show on my list and I was about to go to my backups and now I don't have to because I forgot. Like I said, I wrote all mine down. And
you left it.
This one. I left it. So Mandalorian, especially the season finale of season 2.
Crazy.
Yeah. And they're making a movie, right? Isn't it Mandalorian Grogu?
I don't know.
Oh, I've kind of heard
there's a movie coming out.
So we could talk about that, right? Like it's been long enough since season 2 came out.
Yeah, I haven't watched season 3, so
all we have to do is say spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Now you can talk about it.
Don't watch this.
Seeing like the Luke Skywalker scene in the last episode of season 2 of Mandalorian is the equivalent to the Vader scene in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Like seeing just all out powerful Luke Skywalker, just like they could barely take on one of these droids, and he just comes in and just takes out a battalion.
And you're
four squeezes.
Yes, that's my favorite
and
part.
you're basically seeing it through their perspective, through the screens, through the monitors, and watching him mow these things down. And it's like, this is freaking badass.
Like, Moff Gideon is like terrified of Luke Skywalker. Like he's like, oh. It's like, he's like, holy shit. It's like how people are terrified of Homelander. He's like, he's heard of Luke Skywalker and he's like, oh shit, this guy's really here. He's just going through my droids like they're butter, a hot knife through butter. So that's a peak television episode. So good.
Moment. Yeah.
So I'm going to stay then in the Star Wars realm for my show, which I'm so happy you said Mandalorian so I could think of this because this is, in my opinion, a way under the radar, a super underrated show.
I know which one you're going to pick.
Andor.
I knew it. Yep.
Cool.
Have you watched Andor?
No, I watched like episodes of it, but I never finished it.
Bro, Andor is arguably the best Star Wars thing since Rogue One.
Okay.
And Rogue One is arguably the best Star Wars thing since 1984.
Disney bought it.
And Andor is so good. And season 2 is going to take you right up to the beginning of Rogue One, I'm pretty sure.
That's cool.
And so there's going to be some more Rogue One characters in Andor season 2. It's so good. If anybody's it's not just a good Star Wars show. It's like it should have won Emmys. It's excellent. Andor is so good.
I have not watched it either. I watched, I think, the first 2 episodes, and then I forget why it was.
Yeah, I do.
I just didn't have time at the whatever.
It's so good, dude. I love the dude who plays Cassian.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's Diego Luna. He's awesome. So, I'm gonna go with Andor. I'm glad I got that one in there.
My third pick.
3 and 4.
For my third pick, give me Dexter.
It's a good one.
Yep.
Have you watched New Blood yet?
First episode.
So I also watched the first episode of New Blood,
which sucks because I genuinely was excited for it.
I watched the first episode of it. Have you watched Dexter?
I've not watched all of Dexter.
Oh, okay.
So Dexter season.
Go ahead. You're not going to spoil anything.
Okay. So
it's been out forever. So
I watched Dexter like season 1. And I just never got the hype because like the acting in this show is so bad.
Yes.
The
first couple seasons
is so bad. It's like it's like cringe Showtime. They were like, you remember like they used to just try to make things overly like rated R just because it was on Showtime. They felt like they had to justify that they were charging you for it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So like they just throw like some effing in
Surprise,
there.
motherfucker.
Yeah, and some motherfucks and stuff in there. Like they did all that stuff. Just because it was Showtime and it was so bad in the first like couple seasons.
His sister, the first seasons.
The story in season 1 is still good, and in season 2, you get to the Trinity Killer season, and everything from like that point on is so good until like the last episode, and you're like. I mean, I didn't hate it as much as some people, but some people really hated the last episode of Dexter, and then they brought New Blood back, and Our friend Robbie actually loves the New Blood. He said it's very good. I watched the first episode because it was free. My only issue with the first episode of New Blood was when he like walks up to a deer, and I'm like, bro,
that's not real life.
No, I'm like, you're never getting within
He's quiet,
50 feet of the deer. Like, but I do want to go back and finish it. Kiva loved Dexter also, so that's a good pick.
For my fourth pick, I got to make sure I want to do this real quick.
Strategizing over here.
This is a show, I don't know if this is going to hit home with anybody, but this is a show like, it's way up there for me. I'm going to say Mindhunter.
So this was on my short list.
It's a great show, bro.
I couldn't pick it because they didn't finish it.
I know.
Oh, really?
No. And it's so open-ended the way it ends.
They did 2 seasons. It's David Fincher, the guy who did like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I'm pretty sure, and like Gone Girl and all those like in Zodiac, that kind of stuff. And he just was like, this is a hard show to make and it's expensive and it's tiring, so we're just not doing it.
We're not doing it anymore. And I was, dude, I'm not gonna lie, the way they
just season 2.
Yeah.
Do you know the premise behind Mindhunter?
No, I do not.
It's basically so like back in, was it the 70s or the 80s? Maybe the 70s. Like serial killer wasn't even a thing. So it's basically about the team from the FBI, these 2 dudes and this chick who basically do all the research and study and develop like how to track, how to trace, profile serial killers.
Oh, it's insane.
And it's so good.
It's so good.
It's awesome. But I couldn't put it on in my picks because it's just ended and there's no resolution. It's not like,
and it was getting good. Like, it was getting to,
they were going to catch BTK.
Yes.
And it's not like, they were like, this could be the last season. So we put a little bit of a bow on it to have some, no, it's like Justin said, it's wide open.
Why?
There needed to be a season 3 at least to close this thing up. And they just left. It's just done. It's
super tough.
Yes. But it's a great show. You should definitely watch Mindhunter.
I'll check it out.
It's very good.
This episode is brought to you by Danger Coffee. Browns fans, we talk about how Danger Coffee is made free from mold toxins that are in 45% of the world's coffee, but that's not all that Danger Coffee has to offer. Mineral and nutrient deficiencies are a big deal. They make you feel sick, tired, stressed, and they can give you brain fog. These deficiencies negatively affect your immune system, your digestion, sleep, metabolism. Have you ever wondered why you get an initial burst from your coffee, but then you get that little crash not long after? Danger Coffee's patent-pending process remineralizes your body with more than 50 trace minerals and electrolytes, leaving you more energized, engaged, powerful. These micronutrients enter the cells to boost performance. They bind to toxins to provide detoxification support. I know that sounds like a lot, but the bottom line, guys, is minerals matter, and most of us really don't get enough of them on a daily basis. Danger Coffee delivers micronutrients, plus it gives you access to the minerals you already have. Head to dangercoffee.com, use our code DAWGS, DAWGS, for 10% off your order, and that code can be used over and over, so you get 10% off every order you make using code DAWGS. It's time to start every day off with a cup of coffee that gets you going and actually keeps you going. dangercoffee.com, code DAWGS.
All right. So then that is going to bring me. So I have 2 picks left, and I don't think you guys will pick either one. So I think I can choose either one. So with my 4th pick, I'm going to go with what I think is arguably the greatest one season of television in terms of, I guess, what they're called a limited series of all time.
Okay.
I'm going to go with The Haunting of Hill House.
So just to be a dickhead, I almost thought about taking it just to mess you up because I knew he was going to do it. I knew it was going to be on his list, and I was like, pick 101. I'm going to take Haunting of Hill House just to ruin his day.
It's like I said, I know they came out with The Haunting of Bly Manor, but it's not directly tied in.
Right.
And I've never watched a show that it's been 3 years since I watched it, and I still sometimes just think about it. It's no show has ever stuck with me the way Hill House had. It's that good. I went and read the book that it's based off of, which is different, but it's also like one of the scary. I've never read a scary book, but I was reading this book and my heartbeat was pounding, and it was just a book. I'm like, I'm in my house reading. I'm a nerd. Why is this? But it's one of the best shows I've ever watched. It's so good. If you like scary shows, it's not just scary though. Like the entire story, the acting, everything about it is. Have you ever watched it?
I have not. No.
Top notch.
Does Megan like scary shows?
No, she does not. So this would be a me on my own thing.
That'd be tough too. So I wanted to go back and watch it again, and Kiva won't watch it again because it's too scary, even though we've seen it before. So I started to watch it by myself at the house, and I got like 10 minutes in and my heart was like racing. I'm like, why? I can't do this by myself. I'm a pussy. I need my wife to come down here and sit with me. So I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it again yet, though. And arguably it's not a jump scare type of show, but it has maybe the best jump scares ever in it. I could have went with almost any, like Mike Flanagan, the guy who made that. I loved Bly Manor. Midnight Mass is awesome. But I went with Hill House is the best one for me. It's so good. Watch Hill House. I tell literally everybody to watch Hill House.
I just love that you said jump share kind of sco.
My brain. I was thinking about all the scary things.
All right. So I got my last 2 picks of the draft here. I've got 3 I want to take. Just depends on how I want to play it. But I think the first one I'm going to take is going to be WandaVision.
So I actually thought about that because I was like, are there any
Marvel shows
worth putting on there?
I thought WandaVision was very good. I thought it was very good.
It was the only one to me like that at the end felt like they didn't rush it.
Yeah.
Like I loved Hawkeye until the end, and then it sucked. Like all of them are very good for like 3 episodes, and then they're like, oh shit, this is only a 6-episode season and we need 7 more episodes to actually be able to figure this out. The only one that I think is like legitimately awful from start to finish is Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I hear that a lot.
I haven't even tried that one, but
it was so bad.
Like WandaVision's the only Marvel one on my list because one, it's one of the only ones I watched.
Great.
And I loved it. Like I thought the way it started being very like, what is going on here? It was very, I just loved the way they structured it.
It was different. And Marvel like doesn't do a lot of different sometimes.
No, because you start into the show and you're like, well, how did they get here? What's going on? Why don't they have any idea who they are?
And I like the way it plays into Multiverse of Madness, and which is like actually they've been getting shit on a lot lately, but Multiverse of Madness is actually pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So I liked it. Wanda she's an awesome villain.
Crazy.
Awesome villain.
That just one scene.
Going through the Illuminati.
Yes.
Like
crazy.
Yeah. So no, that's a good pick. I liked WandaVision a lot. So that's a good pick.
Well, thanks. I'm glad I got the approval rating on that one. I don't know what to do with my last one here, though. I'll pick one and then I'll tell you the other.
Yeah, I think we let's go through our 5 picks, and then if we just like want to toss out a couple that didn't quite make
throw
the
an
cut.
honorable mention out there.
Yeah.
All right. So this is just like a personal favorite. I had a lot of fun watching it. It's not like the best show ever made. The acting's a little bit but I just enjoyed watching The Ranch on Netflix with Ashton Kutcher.
I got into it. Yeah.
It had a rapist in it, so I didn't watch it. He really did go to jail. He's in jail for that.
5812.
But I mean, it was just,
But I don't know.
know.
70s show. So
It was it was one of those shows where the acting was kind of stale at times, but the storyline was, it was just interesting. And it was a funny show. The comedy was decent enough that it was like, it was just kind of fun to throw on the TV and watch. So I had fun watching The Ranch. Okay. I'll put it on my list.
All right. So for me, if you know, I like some messed up stuff. I like thriller and dark, and I don't necessarily care if like the bad guy wins or like if it's pretty demented. So this pick is going to be way different than that. I'm going with maybe the show like that will just make you can't not watch this show and not just be happy and like maybe even teared up. And that is Ted Lasso.
Okay. Oh, it was on my list. That was going to be an honorable mention.
I didn't know if either one of you ever watched it.
My mom says it's like one of her favorite shows.
So I got Apple Plus so me and Kiva could watch it, and it's one of the best shows.
Yeah,
and it's so different than everything. Like I watch things like where people are like getting killed in like very gruesome ways, or like demonic and satanic.
Nice.
And like all like some pretty messed up, twisted stuff, and it's so different than any of those shows.
Right.
But it's so good. It's awesome. Have you watched all of it?
No, but I knew it was definitely a big like fan favorite. So I was thinking about just picking it honestly to try to win the draft.
Swing the vote.
Yes,
Ted Lasso is so good. I'm sad that I think it's over. There's been like a lot of rumor that they might do like a season 4 or a spinoff, but it's so good. It's awesome.
Close us out, buddy.
I'm going to bring us home. Last pick. I will go with a show that I enjoy a lot. It's got some classic moments in it. Give me Ozark.
That was on my list also, but they didn't stick the landing good enough for me.
I know. Well, I don't care about the landing.
If they would, if that series finale would have been as good as the mid-season finale of the last season, it would be up there with Breaking Bad in terms of the best show of all time to me. That
if you're gonna stop me,
you're gonna have to fucking kill me. Have you watched Ozark?
No, I've not.
It's crazy.
Dude, first of all, like season 1 finale, insane.
Yes.
Season 2 finale, insane. Season 3 finale was so insane. I'm watching it. So I'm talking to our friend Ray, and he's like, bro, I'm watching it right now. And he's like 20 minutes ahead of me. And he's like, just texting me like, dude, oh my God. And then, so I watched it, and Kiva's sitting like on the couch, and I'm just pacing the living room as the credits are rolling. I'm like, and I got on Xbox Live just to talk to Ray for like 45 minutes. And we're both just pacing around our houses, talking to each other. Like,
Well, don't spoil that one, because I will watch Ozark. Yeah.
it's just,
I had to watch it the next day because I was worried you're gonna ruin it for me.
the series finale just, it was too ambiguous for me. Like, I don't need a nice, clean, the good guys win ending, but it didn't hit the mark quite enough. Like, I was like, it didn't ruin it. It's not like a Game of Thrones ending for a lot of people, but it was enough to where it didn't make my top 5. Cause I don't have any on here where that didn't, like, every one of these shows ended like
Clean
and at a high note. So you went with Ozark. So just to recap real quick before we give our honorable mentions, I was Severance, Daredevil, Andor, Hill House, and Ted Lasso.
I had Stranger Things, The Boys, Mandalorian, WandaVision, and The Ranch.
I had Game of Thrones, The Sopranos, Mindhunters, Dexter, and Ozark.
Yes. So I feel like this is a very subjective list because like a lot of people like a lot of different, you know what I mean? And 5 was so hard. I was going through all these, on my initial one, I had like 20 some written down.
Yes.
And it was hard to pick. So to just give you a couple of my honorable mentions, I had Umbrella Academy, which is, I feel like super underrated on Netflix. And the last season comes out in August. I can't wait. Narcos.
Yeah, oh my God, I forgot Narcos. That might be in my top 5. Yes. Oh my God, how did I forget
Narcos and Narcos Mexico. I was just going to lump them together.
Yeah.
That show is so good. Vice Principals.
Okay.
On HBO is, to me, like, it's only a 2-season show and it's perfect. The Boys was on mine. Obviously, I had Ozark on mine, and then I had The Punisher. But I think Daredevil's better than The Punisher. But it was very hard to narrow it down. There's shows like Upload on Amazon. If you like The Office and you like a mystery rated R comedy from the same guy who did The Office, watch Upload on Amazon. It's awesome. So there was some other really good shows, but I had to try and narrow. Like, it was tough to leave Narcos and Umbrella Academy off. Like, I like those shows a lot.
I guess if I had to do some honorable mentions, I think The Last of Us kind of is up there for me.
I forgot
about that one.
Oh my God.
I know.
Okay, well, on to the next thing.
That was such a good show, yeah.
Yeah. A sleeper for me always is True Detective. Like,
I almost said
crushed.
My only problem was if I said True Detective, only season 1.
So, no.
I haven't watched those seasons yet.
Watch some other seasons. The second season, not so much. Third season's pretty good.
I heard Night Country was like, it started strong and then just got like terrible.
Yeah, I'm like 2 episodes and kind of waned off it. But it's just one of those shows, like, I'll like eventually have to go back.
Right. Have you watched season 1 of True Detective?
No. Whoa! It's crazy.
It's up there with, like, in terms of one season of television, like Hill House.
I think the season finale of that season is like...
Joe watched season 1 of True Detective. Okay. One of my other honorable, talking Chernobyl.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Chernobyl.
I haven't seen that either.
I got a real deep sleeper too. Have you guys ever watched From?
No, but I knew you were gonna. I was surprised you didn't pick that.
I'm also trying to swing the vote a little bit because everybody says I suck at these drafts. My macaroni.
The premise behind From is really good. I just haven't watched it.
It's nuts, and it's very like it's one of those shows they give you just a little bit, and you're like, oh, this is what's going on, and then you still have no clue what's going on. Like, I'm seasons in, and I'm like, what's happening? What are we doing? But I love it. It's very cool.
Honorable mentions for me. I already had The Boys, so I didn't take Gen V, but I thought Gen V.
I haven't watched that yet.
Watch it. Actually, you should watch that before you watch this season of The Boys, because it fits in between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So watch Gen V first. I almost liked it better than The Boys.
Really?
It was freaking awesome. Yes. I was thinking about taking House of the Dragon, but you took Game of Thrones. I figured it's all the same.
Are we allowed to talk about that at all yet?
What?
Have you started the second season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We can talk about after the show. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's
a great show.
Me too. Yeah.
The second season's definitely better than the first one. I think.
Yeah.
I had House of Cards.
House of Cards just got the last season.
Yeah, I think the first season was really good. The first like 2 were
everything with Kevin Spacey was good.
Yeah.
But then once everything would happen with him, and it was just I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah. That's when I quit watching too. But I did like the first couple seasons of that. Obi-Wan Kenobi, I thought for a limited series, I thought it was good.
So Kenobi wasn't as good as it could have been, but the highlights on it, just seeing Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor back, and then like the final episode.
Yes.
So
it was so good.
I think I've talked about it on here, but there's a kid who took all the scenes from Kenobi and he cut it up and made it into a movie.
Oh, you did talk about that.
And I want to find it. And I heard it's like crazy good. Like the story's better. The way he edited it, it's like a completely different story. It's just better. I want to watch it.
I actually like seeing Kenobi and Leia, because they have a relationship.
It was just so bad. Like she's running from these dudes in the forest and she's running like super slow and the guy's like lightly jogging behind her.
Yeah.
And he like runs into a branch and he's like, oh.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
I was like, what is going on here?
And then I had Shrinking and
Shrinking
Silo.
was I really like Shrinking and Silo were on my short list also.
I had The Witcher on here just to sway the vote. I still have not watched it.
Okay.
The Witcher, I'm like partway through season 2, but I just don't know how deep I want to get now that Cavill's not on there.
Yeah.
So if I don't know if you guys can tell, by the way, but I should almost start. I could do
a movie and TV
show TikTok or not TikTok podcast, because I could talk about movies and TV shows like literally all day.
It's very easy. It's fun.
I don't get to watch as much as I used to having the child, but I've watched a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows, and I could talk about them extensively. So maybe I'll start a second one. I'm not going to.
The Dawgs movie show.
But yeah, I could talk about movies all day. So let us know what you guys think. Who won that draft? We got really into that. That was longer than our Browns topics.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. Let us know who you guys thought won. I think this one's going to be very subjective in terms of what you guys like. Because obviously, I think Justin lost just because Game of Thrones is awful. Mindhunter didn't finish, and Ozark had a poor.
None of those shows
landing.
finished. Technically,
true. I think I won. No, I'm just joking. We all have good shows. Ozark is goated. It's up there. And Mindhunter too. Yeah. But let us know what you guys think. Let us know some hot takes. Just to remind you guys, we did talk about football today. Let us know what you guys think of our hot takes. If you guys have any good ones for the Browns or league wide. And just a reminder, make sure you guys have the notification bell tapped, because again, we'll be visiting Deshaun Watson's youth camp next week. Justin and myself will be sitting down talking with him. We'll be joining him on his show for a little bit, and hopefully have any other Browns players who are up there. Hopefully they'll sit down and talk to us for a little bit. So we have some really cool content coming out that you guys don't want to miss. And again, we appreciate you guys supporting the show, helping us get to this level, getting us this opportunity. Without you guys, again, we wouldn't be getting this opportunity.